allow us to have the meeting here, but I believe that Tony, right? Tony's on that. I communicated with her. And I would love to speak with the fire chief to see what his views are on us possibly integrating the postal service with, you know, your overflow parking. There's so much to do. There really is. This is by no means an easy process. Once we decide where we're going and we go to lease, for a lease package, I have about 20 to 25 parts to put together in order for this to go through and get signed and become a post office. So everything is really, I don't want to use micromanaged in a negative way, but it's really micromanaged, microviewed at many different levels to make sure that we do the right thing by the public and that we comply with our mandates from Congress and, you know, why we do what we do. We do not live off taxpayer dollars. We earn our own money. And, you know, everything makes a difference. So we do invite your feedback. And if you write me a letter, I'll send you back a letter the same day I get it. If it's an email, I'll respond by email. And at the end of the 30 days, I submit all of the articles, all of the comments, all of my replies, anything and everything that I have, I put into a package, and it goes to the Vice President of Real Estate, and it gets reviewed, and he sends out a final determination letter of what we're going to do. If we're fortunate enough to have 2, 3, 4 sites, well, I come back with a site selection committee. I present, I do not vote. The committee is made up of 3 members, and they vote on which site they feel would be the most appropriate. We had our architect down here earlier. He had to run in another meeting somewhere, but he was looking over the different options that we had, and he did like that one the best, but the city came up with a brilliant idea, and I want to let them explore it a little bit and see if they can make that happen. That would be a second option. All 3 of us looked at a piece of property that was just unfortunately too narrow for the size post office that you needed. And then there's, for whatever reason, this town has like a water shelf underneath. It's like you're floating on top of a water shelf, and we have to be very careful where we put a post office, because post office weighs something. It's heavy. We don't want it to sink. So, ma'am.
When you say city, are you talking about Muse?
Yes.
Well, hey,
the city of Muse.
Well, you know, what is it? It's the Cecil Township, and I believe Muse is like a borough of the township and village. Or village. A village. Village.
I like to call it Cecil. I mean, city, we're good.
Hey, I just elevated your status, you know? You now are a city with boroughs. This comes from the federal government, so now...
It's going to be short.
That's okay. Yes, ma'am.
Now, has this lot over here ever flooded?
I don't really know anything about the lot. I just know that we had an architect here. It's on solid ground, whereas like across the street, for example, you see this culvert and you kind of have some ground over it. That would not be solid ground. You know, we don't want to put something on top of, how do you say, a drainway so that it sinks. It's not going to happen. We'll make sure that our contractors who come out here survey everything properly and make sure that everything is safe.
Are you absolutely sure that it's on solid property? Because it used to be that a lot of older people in this room will tell you that is the old sewer system. I wasn't living here at the time, but there's a lot of people can fill you in here that was the old sewer system.
Well, you see, this is something, you're going to end up getting a survey done and everything, and we're going to be able to see what easements are there or what is running underneath it. And even when our engineers come out to survey it, let's just say that we say, okay, this is it, this is the property. They'll come out, they'll look at everything, and they report back to us and let us know what, you know, how it's built up.
Are you referring to the existing postal site or the...
No, the one you're proposing.
The overhead
across the street,
overflow parking lot.
Right.
But there's also a lot of property in back of that. So
I'm not sure where it stops and ends. like I said, I'm not sure.
Well, see, that survey will be very telling, and I'm sure that, you know, we pulled up the GIS map. Did you pull it up for that property? I think it shows that you own up to the grassy knoll in the back. Part of it is the paving and the stones, and the other part is the grass in the back, the gravel.
Can I tell you something?
Please do.
I live on Locust Street. I live right in front of the new school. I have got a terrible water situation since the school's been built. From my house down to Townhll's, and the school district says it's not their fault, but since they moved that school, they built that school, so that is not as safe as you think it is. If you look at Townhll's, you look right across the street from the
You know,
Townhll.
generally when you do construction like that, water flow patterns shift all the time. And, you know, sometimes it's not apparent for a few months. I know just personally when we had our gas line installed in our house, way back when, the gas company came, all of a sudden the basement started to flood because they kind of shifted the way the water was flowing. So, you know, I believe that that definitely does happen, and that very well may be a problem. I don't know if we go back on the grass further, whether that's going to be the case.
Dan may know, the engineer, he may know where the school put a really big pipe in. They changed the pipes because we had to sign an easement for them to put the pipe in. And I can't remember how big it is because, but
Is
they
that the
did
pipe with the overflow that goes right across the
Yes,
street?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, we took note of that as well.
We have information. My name is Dan Dizrath. I'm the engineer for Cecil Township. And we'll work with the Postal Service to give them any information in our files that when they do their property due diligence, that whatever they put in, it'll be put in the right place.
Do you happen to have some kind of a survey of that because the school did change?
We do.
That would be great
Yeah,
because
we have
if you
information
share it with.
Yeah, Ian on the Huff property.
That would be great too. I think that's very, very helpful. See, so what comes out of these meetings is some really valuable information that we couldn't possibly know, but for some reason, you know, everything comes together properly. So when yes, ma'am.
Both sides.
So far, I'm considering that, now that I'm hearing this, you know, we'll find out from Cecil Township if that's something viable. And then there was another option that didn't show itself until they proposed an idea of shifting some property for one property owner to another piece of property that the city owned to see if we could make a postal facility work. So we'll look at that too. I can't be more specific because I'm kind of sort of, even though I was here, I came here before because I knew that I had to come here and do this meeting. I just wanted to look around. Now I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes of things, and so is my architect, and we will be able to determine what is safe. We're not going to do something that's not safe. We have really high standards, and we comply with all federal regulations, and we go to the nines when we do something like this. I do have over here, oh, I'm sorry, someone had a question? Yes, sir.
In your speech, you were saying something about the watershed, and then it kind of got off of.
Well, all right, there is like a huge watershed under this town, and you know, it's almost, we have to find out now from the town engineers, you know, where the water flows, where it's safe to put our post office, and you know, we're really sorry that we have to move because even though that post office is right above a stream, it's really interesting. I mean, it looks like it works fine. I know that there was some concrete work done in front of the post office before just to solidify the road and the parking. That is a consideration, and hopefully from now until the lease expires, we'll have figured everything out, best case scenario, and we will have a post office where we can move to. Where is it going to be right now? I have the same questions you do. It's undefined. Sir?
The reason this all started was originally the access to the school was coming down through this road here.
Yeah, I saw that.
The state came in and said that this was a blind entry onto Muse Bishop Road, which is a safety concern. When you get to the top of that ramp, you'll see when you leave, you can't see either direction, which is going to be an issue if you have it down here. Safety.
Right out here, right out here.
That's why they're moving the post office to begin with. This was supposed to be the access to the school.
For the school buses.
For school buses, and they came in and said that you can't run public traffic that way because of the entryway onto Muse Bishop Road, which is going to be a concern.
Well, what about how they made this a one-way street out here?
Well, they did that because of the post office. When you get up there, it's blind toward the road, people using that
Are they
access.
proposing to have the school buses go in here and out there, or is it just in and out on that?
Originally, they were using this.
Originally,
Right.
they wanted to do that.
No, they, originally it should have been in,
But this is, from what I understand from the architect who's responsible for building the school, this has just become a work access road at
Right,
the moment.
and the reason for that is because the state denied them the usage of this road because of the safety.
Okay.
So that's why they moved up to the entryway, took away the yards on both sides, and not the post office. So my concern is the safety of people coming in and out onto Muse Bishop Road, which is
That'll be a
a
big.
state, yeah, it's a state road, and they travel through it pretty quick.
Yeah, so what you're saying is for the same reasons that
Yeah, that
the
the
school
school wouldn't
buses
use it,
can't use
it
it,
could be
then
an issue
it would
here.
be also a concern from the post
Exactly.
office.
Exactly.
Okay.
Unless
I mean,
there's something done.
Well, you would be forced to use
Unless they
Locust
take
Street.
our house away.
You'll be forced to come up around, use Locust Street. If you feel unsafe pulling out of here, go up around Locust Street, come on to School Street.
You know, and then maybe that makes that not an ideal place. It's just, you know, it was a thought, okay.
That's always been my concern. Access.
It definitely is an issue because we deemed it unsafe. We did a field survey with a police car. Everybody met here, and we put the police car up over the knuckle. We couldn't see the top of the car's lights.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, you have this community hall here and a lot of people come and go at different times. Doesn't that bode, don't you have the same issue here?
No, there's not that much traffic here. We are willing to entertain the idea of leasing. Actually, we have 2 tenants that want to lease this hall out. We haven't been able to use this, we haven't been able to make a profit on this for some time.
All right, I mean,
And we're willing to split it in half. It's a big hall.
I think 900 square foot.
I'm not sure how big it is. But we don't use it a lot. The people in this, that are sitting here can tell you there's very, very few activities here anymore. And it's a shame to say, but nobody wants a fire hall wedding. Everybody wants a Hilton Garden wedding or an outdoor wedding. So we actually lose money on this hall because we have to keep it warm in the winter so the pipes don't freeze. We had a horrible situation a few years ago.
If we were to consider from here all the way back, would that be something that would work size-wise?
Yep.
Okay, I mean, thank you. Option number 3.
But that wouldn't take care of the
What's
situation.
But it wouldn't take care of the traffic. However,
yeah,
we
The
have,
parking,
but wouldn't that
They're
be,
getting out to the road.
we get
they
nothing.
take the one-way away?
What, this street right here, is it one way?
Yeah.
Which, this way or that way?
Yeah, coming down.
Maybe
Well, I don't
that
believe-
street wouldn't be so blocked with the
Yeah.
post office gone.
That's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
it wouldn't have to be one way. It's
Right.
one way because the cars can't see.
Or maybe they could make it one way that way.
I don't
Come
think
in
it's
this
wide
way
enough.
and go out that way.
Right.